Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what I am going to do to you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So, what I am going to do to you, this is what the narcissist either verbalized to you, was thinking, actually did, or considered doing to you throughout the relationship and post-narcissistic relationship. This is a long list of things that perhaps you experienced. If you did, please drop comments below or add in your experiences. Some of the things that the narcissist will say, like what I'm going to do to you, include some very serious things. Example, I'm gonna have people thinking you are crazy. Now let's focus on that for a minute. I don't use that word that often. On the channel I've mentioned it a few times because I felt it was necessary, and this certainly is one of those times. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose people. It's not my job, and neither should another individual be diagnosing you. Example, if they are calling you A, B, and C, and they're not qualified to do so, well, should they be doing it? No, but the narcissist believes they know better than most people. So they do understand and identify with that word, the crazy word, and what they're trying to do is trying to take you down with them in the depths where they vibrate low, and having other individuals perhaps believing that you are in fact that way when you're not. As a matter of fact, most likely you've never been that way and you won't be that way. However, if you were in the narcissistic relationship for any length of time, I can assure you, you were tested because each and every day was a battle. Each and every day you were being gaslit. Each and every day you were being led down the path to perhaps not being as stable as you thought and or know you are or were. Really get the message. See, the narcissist, they exert so much energy onto their target, which in this case was you, that they want other people believing in the illustration of what they painted for you. In other words, the smear campaign. Many times the narcissist instills the smear campaign, and they will gather up the troops, all of their flying monkeys and your acquaintances and or friends or social circle, whoever will listen, whoever will take a bite of that false narrative apple, and they will plant seeds of doubt. Like, ooh, so-and-so's not doing that well. I heard that they're having some issues, or yeah, that's the case, but you know, that's just between us. Don't say anything. A seed like that could be planted. Next thing you know, there are rumors going all over the place about you that perhaps you're having some challenging times or you're not doing well. Maybe they're saying that you have lost it, whatever it may be. None of this is true. It's, again, the narcissist trying to paint a picture of you and your stability to people that want to buy into the false narrative, to people that don't have a backbone, that people don't have the wherewithal to ask you, hey, are you okay? I heard you're experiencing some difficult times. In other words, they didn't check in on you. And if those individuals had only checked in on you even once and said, hey, I heard X, A, B, and C is happening. Are you okay? Then you could have dispelled the rumor. Then you could have said, I'm actually fine. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they may have shared the information, and boom, you could have discovered the narcissist a lot sooner. That was a tangent, but I hope you understand the message. Other things the narcissist may say, or perhaps they've done, are to have you tell you things like, you'll never amount to anything. You are not going to be a success without me. Things like that. What they're doing there is they're planting seeds that they are superior to you, and that they're better than you, and that they believe that you in fact aren't a success, when in fact I'm sure you are a success, but they don't want you ever succeeding at anything. Remember, to the narcissist, relationships are a competition. They're a zero-sum game, and they need to believe that they have won. Other things are, the narcissist will say, I'm gonna leave you in such disarray that you will not be able to pick yourself up off the ground. Something like that. What they're basically telling you there is, they are going to, or they are planning the discard, and they're trying to literally ruin your life and take away everything that is and or was you. In other words, they are projecting and basically predicting the roadmap to your destruction. That's what they're trying to do. Another one, watch this one. I'm gonna leave you homeless and penniless. You're not gonna know what hit you when I'm done with you. Things like that. Now let's pause there for a minute. Nobody wants to be homeless. Certainly nobody wants to be penniless. And if someone is saying things like that to you, those are threats first and foremost. But second of all, the narcissist is already telling you their mindset. They're letting you know firsthand that they actually have plans for you and that they do want to take you down. Think about it. These are some of the things the narcissist is going to try to do to you What they want to do is they want to break you down. They want to break your social circle down. They want to isolate you. Yes, they do want to leave you without a stable place to lay your head. In other words, many times they don't want you to have a stable house or household. Think about the divorce. If you're trying to divorce a narcissist, what happens there? What happens there is the divorce proceedings get dragged out longer and longer and longer, and you get more stays, and you get more excuses, and you get more documents missing and fumbled around. Why? Because the narcissist is playing the long game. And again, if you're reliant upon the house, or if you have to live with the narcissist for a period of time until the divorce goes through, they know exactly what they're doing. They're keeping you on misery street, discomfort street, and isolation street, while they most likely already have your replacement lined up in front of you or behind doors. That I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm letting you know that many times the narcissist will say such shocking things to you that you'll be in disbelief. You'll say to yourself, who would say something like that? Like, that is about the most callous and cruel and manipulating and disgusting thing I've ever heard of. Well, I'll tell you right now who would say it. A person who is trying to take you down, a person who doesn't want you to thrive, a person who doesn't want you to succeed, a person that doesn't want to be amicable and give you the divorce or have 50-50 with the child custody, etc. Which leads me to the next question. In the divorce proceedings, which I won't focus on too much, but I'll say one more thing here. Many times the narcissist believes they're entitled to more than 50% of the assets, and they will drag out the proceedings as long as possible until they get more than they are than they should be getting. Why is that? Because again, they believe they're entitled to more than you are. And mysteriously, one of the two parents, let's say one of them's the narcissist and they raise kids, well, the stable individual, which is you did all the parenting throughout the body of the child's upbringing, but lo and behold, it's time for divorce, splitting the assets and the kids' custody and things. What happens? That's right, that's when the narcissist appears to be the father or mother of the year, and they start doing things that they weren't doing for the first 13, 14, 15 years of the child's upbringing because they weren't present, they weren't around, they were considering themselves, taking care of themselves. All of these things and so many more are things the narcissist will say to you. They're going to tell you what they're going to do to you. Another one, let's say the narcissist, something like this: you'll never find anybody near as good as me, or my mother told you I shouldn't have married you. Let's zoom in on those two things. First of all, you will never find anyone near as good as me. What does that mean? That implies that the narcissist is a quality individual. They're not. What they were doing was taking advantage of you, most likely when you were in the trauma bond and you believed that you couldn't live without them. Zoom out. Could you live without them? Absolutely. Are you better off without them? 100%. Were they who they portrayed themselves to be? Not even close. The narcissist is a parasite. They are a person who takes from individuals, and when they're done, what do? That's right, they try and take more. The second thing that they said to you perhaps is, your mother told me I should have never married you, something like that. Personally, I did hear that, and many other things. Point being, the narcissist plants seeds of doubt. They don't want you ever believing in yourself. They want you believing that the narcissist knows more about you and about things that could be true or not true. But that's why the narcissist gaslights you. Think about it. Were you ever gaslit before you were in the relationship? Perhaps, but was it a big thing? Probably not. It was probably something harmless that somebody forgot something and they just said, oh yeah, it's no big thing. No big thing. But when you're in the narcissistic relationship, you're being gaslit virtually every day. You're walking around on eggshells and hearing what the person who turns out to be a narcissist is going to do to you. That's very discomforting. It's very debilitating. It's very shocking, yet it's real. The narcissist has such disdain for so many people on the planet, and at one point, you were the target, specifically if you married them or went into a business relationship with them or loaned them money or signed the deed to their house or something. You were the target because they saw the goodness, the abundance that you have and or had within you, and they wanted to extract it. In other words, remember, all the narcissist is a person trying to act like they have your best interest at heart when nothing could be further from the truth. And so many times they will tell you what they're going to do to you. Many times they will tell you off the record, meaning behind closed doors. They won't document it, but at times there are narcissists that make threats via email or text or voice messages or in person in front of people. But usually these kind of threats and or disgusting words that they will spew out of their mouths, usually it will be behind closed doors, so nobody else will hear it but you. And then, of course, if you try and share that with another individual, hey, my ex or the narcissist who I married, they're saying this, and this to me. Then the people you're talking about are like, what do you mean? There's some of the nicest people I've ever met on the planet. Get the point? That's the conundrum. That's the catch. That's the fix. The narcissist, they paint an image of themselves to the general public, yet they are somebody else behind closed doors, and they know this. They manipulate everybody. There is not one person that's safe in a narcissistic relationship. Nobody is safe, and nobody gets out unscathed. Specifically, if you married the narcissist, or if they're a parent or a sibling or a neighbor, or if you had a lot of proximity to them, meaning you spent a lot of time with them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Drop comments below. It's the people that only see the narcissist here or there, not that frequently. They see them in little doses. They're the people that the narcissist wants to plant the most seeds with, because the narcissist never spends enough time with them, so those people can't actually identify and recognize who the narcissist is. But the narcissist, what I'm going to do to you, they will say so many things that you cannot even fathom that could come out of a human being's mouth, but yet they do. And the longer you're in these relationships with the toxic individual, i.e. the narcissist, the worse they get, because they become an aging narcissist, and they believe that they are better than you and they are entitled to what you have, which includes your time, money, energy, effort, love, everything. That's what they want. They don't want you ever to break free from the narcissistic abusive cycle. That's a fact. That's why they hoover you at times. Remember, if you accept a hoover, it's not a good thing. If you don't get hoovered, it's a great thing. Do not accept a hoover. And for you newbies, what is a hoover? A hoover is when the narcissist is trying to get you back into the relationship for another round of punishment, another round of abuse, another round of manipulation. That's what they want to do. Why? Because the narcissist most likely didn't find a proper replacement for you, or they're missing what you had, or they're testing the waters to see how strong you are, or perhaps they're flat out bored. In other words, they can't do without supply, and you came across their radar, so let's test this one and see what's going on. That's for a whole separate video. The point is, what I'm going to do to you, the narcissist knows this. Think about the beginning of the relationship. Again, let's say it's a romantic interest. Were they authentic and honest and genuine with you? Of course they weren't. They were acting like they were one person. They were mirroring back to you who you actually are. And they were trying to get in good with you. In other words, participate in your hobbies, meet your family, meet your social circle, perhaps get married rather quickly, move your house, relocate around the globe, stop your business, create a new job, whatever. They were trying to isolate you. This is exactly how they thrive to unsuspecting individuals who don't have the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle. However, what I'm going to do to you, think about it. The narcissist makes so many threats throughout the body of the relationship. You experience so much toxic behavior. You're in disbelief that another individual can behave this way, yet they do. And you stay in it more and more. Why? Because you didn't have the education on narcissism. You weren't taught this in school. You weren't given the proper tools how to combat it. What you were stuck in the narcissistic fog, that trance-like, zombie-like state when you were trying to get back to that euphoric stage or the beginning of the relationship. You never could quite get back there, could you? No, you couldn't. Why? First of all, because the narcissist was monitoring you and your supply. They were monitoring your level of resources. Were you getting low? Was your health ailing? Did you have the same status you once had? Did they crush you enough? Was there something new they could take from you? They're always sizing up their people that they're in relationships with, who they look at actually as opponents. Play that again. Whether you're married or not, they look at you as an opponent, as someone to conquer, as someone to crush and devastate. Yes, sounds like I'm being dramatic, but it's real. It's 100% real. This is how the narcissist moves. That's why they go from business to business, person to person, relationship to relationship all over the globe, looking for unsuspecting individuals to take from. What I'm going to do to you, think about it. If the narcissist had just said those 7 words to you when they first met you, and they were authentic with you, you would have run for the hills. You would have disappeared. You would have blocked them immediately. You would have said, thank you, but no thank you. I don't need it. But they didn't do that, did they? No. They entered the relationship with you under the guise of them being a like-minded individual, under the guise of them being a good, compassionate individual, under the guise of building a family, creating a future, starting a business, loaning them money, having responsibilities but headed in the same direction. Truth of the matter is, the narcissist knew exactly what they were going to do to you. And in the beginning of this video, I mentioned a word that I don't like to use frequently, so I won't mention it again. But my hope is that if you were ever called that or ever doubted, you're not. And don't ever doubt yourself ever again. You are a beautiful, bright, shining light. You are in a relationship with an individual who turned out to be a narcissist, who all they wanted to do was isolate you, have you doubt yourself, and they were getting supply from you virtually 24/7, when you would text them, contact them, report back to them, do all the things for them, yet they would disappear with you days, weeks, months on end because they were out gallivanting the globe getting other sources of supply and or looking for your replacement. Understand the message. The narcissist always has an agenda. They had an agenda with you. They have an agenda with whomever they're with right now, and they will have an agenda tomorrow morning when they wake up. It's simply who is the target and who can provide the most resources for the narcissist. That's exactly what they do. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And side note, for anybody who thinks that I have a script in front of me, incorrect. I am a free flow speaking individual. All these videos are shot in one take. They're live. They're from the bottom of my heart. They're from my real life experiences, and they're here to share with you. So no, there's no script. No, there's no rehearsal. This is me creating the topic, going on a meditation walk, processing what I want to discuss, finding a proper location, getting my tripod going, hitting play, sending it to you with all the love and abundance out there. So yes, this is my natural speaking ability. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that, you are not alone. God bless you, I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye you guys.